Daniel in the Lion's Den, a story of unshakable faith. Long ago, in the powerful kingdom of Babylon, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was not an ordinary man. He was known throughout the kingdom for his wisdom, honesty, and deep faith in God. Even though he lived far away from his homeland of Israel, Daniel never forgot the God he worshipped. Daniel had been taken to Babylon as a young man when the Babylonian king conquered Jerusalem. Many years passed, and kingdoms changed. The Babylonian Empire eventually fell, and a new ruler came to power, King Darius of the Medes and Persians. Yet through all these changes, Daniel remained respected and trusted. King Darius soon discovered something special about Daniel. Among all the officials and governors in the kingdom, Daniel stood out. He was faithful, responsible, and wise in every matter. Because of this, the king planned to place Daniel in charge of the entire kingdom. But not everyone was happy about Daniel's success. Many of the other leaders became jealous. They did not like the idea of a foreign man having such great authority. Day after day, they searched for a way to find fault with Daniel. They hoped to discover a mistake or a failure that they could use against him. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could find nothing wrong. Daniel was trustworthy. He did his work with honesty and excellence. There was no corruption, no negligence, and no wrongdoing in him. This frustrated the jealous officials even more. Finally, they realized something important. The only way they could trap Daniel was through his faith in God. So the officials gathered together and made a secret plan. They went to King Darius with flattering words, pretending they were loyal and united. King Darius, live forever, they said. All the royal officials, governors, and advisors have agreed that the king should issue a decree. For the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human being except you, O king, shall be thrown into the lion's den. The king liked the idea. It sounded like a way to strengthen loyalty throughout the kingdom. Without realizing the trap that had been set for Daniel, King Darius signed the decree. According to the law of the Medes and Persians, once a decree was signed, it could not be changed. The jealous officials smiled among themselves. Their trap was ready. Soon the news spread throughout the kingdom. No one was allowed to pray to any god except the king for 30 days. But when Daniel heard about the decree, he did something remarkable. He did not panic. He did not hide his faith. Instead, Daniel went home, just as he always did. In the upper room of his house were windows that opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times every day, Daniel knelt down by those windows and prayed to God, giving thanks just as he had always done. Daniel knew the danger. He knew the punishment could mean death, but he also knew that his faith in God was more important than any human law. Meanwhile, the jealous officials were watching closely. They quickly went to Daniel's house and saw him praying to his God. At once they rushed back to the king. They reminded King Darius about the decree he had signed. Did you not issue a law that anyone who prays to any god or person except you will be thrown into the lion's den? They asked. The king answered, yes, the decree stands according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be changed. Then the officials revealed their accusation. Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, ignores you, O king. He still prays to his God 3 times a day. When the king heard this, he was deeply troubled. King Darius respected Daniel. He knew Daniel was a good and faithful man. The king realized he had been tricked. All day long, the king tried to find a way to rescue Daniel, but the law could not be changed. As the sun began to set, the officials returned and reminded the king that the law must be carried out. With great sadness, King Darius gave the command. Daniel was brought forward and taken to the lion's den. The lion's den was a deep pit where fierce, hungry lions were kept. Anyone thrown into that den had little chance of survival. As Daniel was led to the pit, the king spoke to him with hope in his voice. May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you. Then Daniel was lowered into the den of lions. A large stone was rolled over the entrance, and the king sealed it with his own royal seal so that no one could change Daniel's situation. That night was a long and restless night for King Darius. Back in the palace, the king could not sleep. He refused food and entertainment. His mind was filled with worry about Daniel. But inside the lion's den, something miraculous happened. God sent an angel to protect Daniel. The angel shut the mouths of the lions so that they could not harm him. The same lions that had destroyed many others became quiet and powerless in Daniel's presence. Daniel remained safe throughout the entire night. Early the next morning, at the first light of dawn, King Darius hurried to the lion's den. His heart was full of fear and hope as he approached the pit. When he reached the entrance, he called out in a trembling voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" For a moment, there was silence. Then a voice answered from inside the den. "O King, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, O King." The king was overwhelmed with joy. Immediately he ordered that Daniel be lifted out of the den. When Daniel was brought up, everyone saw that he was completely unharmed. Not a single wound was found on him. Why? Because Daniel trusted in his God. Then the king gave another command. The men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought forward along with their families and thrown into the lion's den. This time, the lions overpowered them before they even reached the bottom of the pit. After this, King Darius wrote a message to all the people in every nation and language throughout his kingdom. He declared, "I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and respect the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed, and his dominion will never end. He rescues and saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." And so Daniel prospered during the reign of King Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. But the story of Daniel in the lion's den is more than just an ancient story. It is a powerful reminder of what true faith looks like. Daniel did not change his faith when it became dangerous. He did not hide his prayers when people threatened him. Instead, he remained faithful to God, even when it could have cost him his life. And because of his courage and trust in God, a miracle happened. This story teaches us an important lesson for our lives today. Sometimes we face our own lions' dens. These may not be real lions, but they can be fears, challenges, problems, or pressures that make it difficult to stand firm in our faith. We might feel alone, we might feel afraid. But the story of Daniel reminds us that God is always with those who trust him. Even in the darkest places, even in the most frightening moments, God has the power to protect, guide, and rescue his people. Faith does not mean we will never face danger, but it means we trust that God is greater than anything we face. Just as God closed the mouths of the lions, he can also give us strength, courage, and peace in the middle of our struggles. So whenever you face your own lion's den in life, remember the story of Daniel. Stand firm, trust God, and believe that the same God who protected Daniel is still powerful today. Because faith in God can turn even the most terrifying den of lions into a place of victory.